The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Wednesday morning to you. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson is in charge of things this morning. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We are in the Jared Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. This is jared-construction.com, license number WV030133. Phone calls to the show, a service of Guarantee Bank, 1320 Canal Boulevard East in Charleston. Guarantee Bank having their grand opening next Tuesday, ribbon cutting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the public is invited to attend. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Tony closed for vacation this week. He will reopen on Monday. Check out bestmastertaylor.com or Tony's Facebook page for more information. Wednesday edition of the show, one step closer to the weekend. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes says it's going to be humid again today, and that could lead to some late day showers and thunderstorms. Now, some areas got some rain this morning. Not everybody got some, but some did. Upper 80s for highs, feeling more like the mid 90s today. A couple of showers around tonight with a low around 70. Widespread showers and storms tomorrow, really all the way through the weekend. Highs tomorrow in the upper 80s, feeling much warmer than that with the heat index. Forecast pretty much the same as I said all weekend. Download the Metro News television app for Brian's weather team and follow Brian's Facebook page and the Metro News television weather Facebook page as well. Coming up, it's going to be joined by a lady by the name of Ashley Saddoris. She's with a program. It's called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. They try to make sure that kids have a place to sleep. We'll have details on that coming up. Plus, the Assistant Deputy Secretary of the Housing and Urban Development folks out of D.C., Joe DeFelice, is on the show today. He and his team were recently here in Kanawha County. We'll find out what they learned while they were here. Plus, several things in the news I want to get to. And as always, your calls and texts. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. There is an event later this month called the Paws on the Trail Dog Fair. Linda Coulter is here to talk about it. Linda, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's going to be held August the 29th,
yes,
starting at 10 at the Claudia L. Workman Wildlife Education Center, which is located in Alum Creek. Tell us about this event.
Well, the event is going to be a wonderful day, family-friendly. Free admission. Donations are always accepted. Things that's going to be included are a dog costume and a best trick contest. These contests are $5 donation to be able to support your pet in it. Mm-hmm. So come dressed all fancy and dancy and how
now,
you want your animal.
I was going to say, are you supposed to dress like your pet? Is
you
that
can.
The thing? Okay, all right.
I mean, if you want to.
Okay.
They do say the longer we have animals, the more like we are like our animals in the way we look at them.
I agree with that.
There's going to be a guided leash trail walk with your animal. Now, remember, you are in the woods, so come proportionally prepared for that to be able to clean any unwanted traveling guests by the way of ticks.
Yeah.
There'll be pet vendors from local businesses, rescue and adoption area. We'll have food trucks and raffles, and then there'll be some prizes. There'll be plenty of kids' activities. And, of course, the wildlife education at the Claudia L. Workman Education Center. And then there'll be dog water stations. So
now, I have spent a little time with different folks talking about this Wildlife Education Center.
Okay.
It's the Claudia L. Workman Wildlife Education Center.
Yes.
Tell us what you know about that. I mean, it's a fantastic facility that a lot of people here in the Kanawha Valley may not know a lot about.
If you don't know where it is, it's at 301 Forks of Coal Way in Alum Creek. That's about 3 miles south of Southridge. It's going to set on your right if you leave Southridge heading out to Coulter. You kind of miss it if you're not looking for it. There is a sign that directs you. So when you turn in to your right, you're going to make another right, and that'll take you out a small, short road that you paralleled on your way on the Coulter, and you'll park in a huge parking lot. And that's where the event will also take place. The Education Center is everything that has speaks so well about our state and about the Alum Creek area. We partnered with the DNR Department of Natural Resources. And it's a beautiful building that was donated by Claudia and Jack Workman, and that was part of their bequest, that this center be put together by the foundation, and for people to come and walk the trails, enjoy the trails, bring your family out, spend the day and the afternoon out on the trails again, and then in the building. And you're going to see wildlife from our snakes, from our turtle, and you may be lucky enough to be there when the turtle is walking around.
Okay.
And is out.
Now, when you say you're going to see snakes, are you going to see them?
They're
like,
behind glass.
Okay.
Behind glass. They are very comfortable, but they hide, but they're there. And we do have plenty of fish, and there's gar. Things that you may not be otherwise able to see. I think the most striking thing about this, as you enter into the center, there is on the carpet a facsimile of Coal River. So it does snake through the inside of the building.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. No, sir.
We had a text somebody asking about the time in the place. It's August 29th, starts at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Yes.
It sounds like it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
I think so.
Fun and educational, but more emphasis on the fun.
It's a way to get to know the center. It's a way to get your kids outside and away from their social media.
Yeah.
Say that it is. And
might get mom and dad away from it too.
Well, yes, that's point taken. But no, I enjoy the hikes and the trails and getting out.
This is, and again, we've talked about this on the show in the past. I think a lot of people, how long has this been out there? How long has this been a thing, the Wildlife Center? Gosh,
2 to 3 years.
Okay.
It's not been very long.
That's what I was thinking.
The trails have been there for years.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
But the center itself has only been open maybe 2 years. Don't quote me on that,
yeah.
but it's something like that, yes. Yeah. And it's just a beautiful facility to come out and to spend time on a rainy day. I mean, the center itself has a scavenger hunt. You can find the animals, and then they offer classes. You just stay in touch on social media with Claudia Workman Wildlife Center. It's such a mouthful to say all of that.
What do you know about Claudia Workman and her? I mean, I know they give a lot to this, and her husband. They give a lot to this area, but what do you know?
Well, they did. I had the opportunity to work for Claudia back when she had Workman Developments, back when I was starting out in my life of a marketing and public information, and I did paste up for her book for Workman Development. So I got to know her through that. She was just a wonderful lady. She was an English teacher who she expected things to be correct in the way she wanted them, and she was just a lovely lady. And then I had opportunities to meet her on other occasions, and I was working for Kroger's, and I was there as the chef in residence at the deli at what they call the Gucci Kroger's.
There's always an argument over what's Gucci and what's Prada.
I know.
So this is the one at Southridge?
Yes, this is at Southridge.
Okay.
Now, I liked that Kroger's. It was fun to be there because you got to meet everybody. But anyway, I got to meet her again and reintroduce myself to her, and we caught up on what we'd been doing since then. And she's just a lovely lady. I mean, you could just stand and talk to her for hours, and she loved her animals, and she loved her property, and she just wanted to share what she had the good fortune to make in her lifetime, and she wanted to share it with the community. So she left this legacy in her name for the public. So Kanawha Countyans and West Virginians in general need to find the Claudia Workman Wildlife Center. It is a jewel for Kanawha County.
Talking again with Linda Coulter. It's 9:16. GoMart and your favorite WVRC media stations are giving you the chance to win an incredible VIP experience at WVU's season opener, September the 5th, when the Mountaineers take on Coastal Carolina. Become a miracle maker for the upcoming Radiothon. You'll automatically be registered to win. One lucky winner is going to get the chance to walk the man trip into the stadium with the team, attend a VIP tailgate party before the game, get field access before kickoff, and get 4 Touchdown Terrace tickets. Once in a lifetime experience for WVU fans, and you can also help out West Virginia's kids as well. See all the rules and details at your favorite WVRC media station websites. GoMart, the official convenience store of WVU Athletics and WVRC media stations. Let's go Mountaineers. All right, I want to talk, going back to the center, do you get a lot of visitors that come in as far as like the school groups and things of that? Because I would think you probably would.
We do. There's more school groups coming right now than individuals, but some days people just kind of stumble upon the center.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, of course, hikers, those that do hike regularly on the trails. And I have seen people just beginning to use the parking lot. Those of us that have difficulty managing trails walk the circle of the parking lot.
Yeah, whatever.
It is almost a mile if you circle it. So when you do if you have a certain amount that you want to walk, you can go. It's flat, easy, no rocks.
One lap or 20,
whatever feels good. Yes.
And what are the hours for the center? On
the center is closed on Monday, and the rest of the time it's open from 10 to 4.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
All
that's
right.
what it is.
Okay.
And rainy days it's open. There's just places to sit. There are picnic benches if you want to bring the family to come out and eat. So there's things to do rather than just sitting.
All right. So this particular event, though, it's the Paws on the Trail Dog Fair.
Yes.
And it's going to be August the 29th. Starts at 10 in the morning at the Claudia L. Workman Wildlife Education Center, which is located in Alum Creek. Place online where somebody can learn some more information. There's a Facebook page.
Yes.
Or something
Just
like that.
search Claudia L. Workman, and the flyer will step up and tell you everything about it. Now, remember, the event is free. There are donations that we ask for, and of course, to enter your pet in the contest, it's $5 per pet per contest.
All right.
But the event's free.
All right. Well, come on out and enjoy it. Again, it's not till the 29th of August, so you get an opportunity to plan to be there. I appreciate you being here, Linda. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having us.
It is 9:19. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds are in Lexington. Let's see, tonight and tomorrow, and they are going to be back at Gomart Ballpark Friday night to take on the Blue Crabs of Southern Maryland. Tickets, promotions, and more. Visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
I'm Kanawha County Sheriff Joey Crawford. This August 31st and September 1st, weather permitting, our tax division will once again offer our curbside collection service. Pay your taxes from the comfort of your car in front of the courthouse from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Our tax divisions will still be open during weekdays, and you can also mail in your remittance or pay online at kanawhasheriff.us. Questions, please feel free to call us at 304-357-0210.
9:21 on a Wednesday morning. The sounds of the Amos Steel Band, official band of the Dave Allen Show. You got an event coming up, some sort of an outdoor event, a class reunion, picnic, whatever. Just look those guys up on Facebook. They are fantastic. It is 9:21. Get ready to talk Mountaineer football and go inside the huddle with Tony Caridi coming up Thursday. That's tomorrow night at the Willow Event Center, 1706 Greenbrier Street in Charleston near Capitol High. Doors open at 5:30. Hotline with Weekly and Coop. We're broadcasting live from there. Tailgate food, silent and live auctions, and a chance to appear on an upcoming broadcast with Tony Caridi. Ticket packages are available for individuals, groups, and corporate sponsors. Every dollar raised benefits the United Way of Central West Virginia. For tickets and information, visit unitedwaycwv.org. Brought to you by United Bank in conjunction with WCHS. That's us and the Charleston Gazette-Mail. Guarantee Bank hotline for later in the show, 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. Want to welcome to the show now Housing and Urban Development Deputy Secretary Joe DeFelice. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show, and I hope I pronounced your name right.
You did, Dave. Thank you.
All right. So I understand you were in West Virginia recently. Why were you here, and what did you do when you were here?
Well, we were there for 2 reasons. We came in last Tuesday, and we met in the Capitol to announce 14 new members of our HUD Work and Dignity Coalition, and we'll get back to that. And then we also spent the bulk of last Wednesday, down in the coal fields in the southern region, in Beckley and in Logan, and really just highlighting, the housing situation down there with the transition towards more tourism, what that's doing for the housing market down there, and then how we can be helpful to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
And it is interesting that you talk about that transition, especially as you get into southern West Virginia, because as you said, it is a big tourism economy down there right now. And one of the issues that they've had is there's just simply, well, this is an issue pretty much everywhere in West Virginia. There's just not enough housing. I mean, that seems to be a problem. I'm sure you heard that when you were here.
That's exactly what we heard when we were there. I mean, especially when we were down there, obviously, the coal, from Williamson to Logan, Welsh, all the way through up into Beckley, coal has been the giant. We toured an old coal mine in Beckley, but while we were there, they're saying, hey, they're going to tourism, and some people are more interested in putting the houses that are there in the Airbnbs, which is significantly shrinking the shortage. Since it's, enlarging the shortage, especially since it is so rural down there. So it's not like there's a ton of, new housing being built. It's the current stock, which is becoming an issue.
Well, and the current stock is fine, but like you said, we need some new stock down there and here in the Kanawha Valley too. I mean, that's very important, right?
Yeah, it is. And which is, I think, one of the reasons, on the front side of that, while we're there on the public housing and HUD-assisted housing side, there is a backlog, and we want to help free up the backlog through our Work and Dignity Coalition.
And I want you, if you would, expand upon the work of this Work and Dignity Coalition. Tell us about the mission statement and what this is all about.
Yeah, we'll do. So back in February, Secretary Turner, our HUD Secretary Scott Turner, proposed a new rule which would allow flexibility for housing authorities to make their own rules around time limits and work requirements. You may be aware that, Secretary Turner got rid of AFFH, was the affirmatively furthering fair housing rule that came in the Obama administration, which essentially acted like a national zoning board. This was giving power back to localities and municipalities to make their own decisions. Through HUD, housing authorities they're unable to make their own decisions about, whether there's going to be time limits or work requirements, leading to, long waiting lists that are closed, waiting lists that have, in some areas, 100,000 people on them, really to free up that backlog, put some work requirements, promote self-sufficiency, and break the cycle of generational poverty. But by doing that, the 14 housing authorities that were there in the Capitol with us last Tuesday signified that they support this rule change, giving the power back to them and not being mandated from bureaucrats in Washington.
So now you said that you were at the Capitol last week. Were there meetings involving some of the legislators and West Virginia government officials? Were they part of that as well?
We were joined by Senator Roland Roberts. Came. He spent the whole time with us, and then afterwards I had an opportunity to catch up with Secretary of State Chris Warner. We talked about opportunity zones, and then Chris and I had worked together in the first Trump administration when he was with USDA Rural Development and I was with HUD. We did a lot of work together specifically around housing, but he and I caught up on opportunity zones and how that can be helpful. There's 55 opportunity zones right now, and it's going to be huge for West Virginia because out of the big beautiful bill, specifically the working families tax cuts, it allows for more flexibility with respect to rural development. And fortunately or unfortunately, the entire state of West Virginia is classified as rural, which will allow 30% step up in basis. This is getting into the weeds here, but my point is it's going to drive where a lot of the funding was more geared towards urban areas. This is going to drive more to rural areas, which can really be a boon for West Virginia, specifically in that tourism market.
Talking again with HUD Deputy Secretary Joe DeFelice about his recent trip here to West Virginia, and it's music to my ears to hear that people are in Washington are getting the message about helping more rural areas here, because as you said, it seems like the urban areas get all of the attention. Not saying that they shouldn't get a lot of the attention. There's a whole lot more rural in America than what there is urban.
Yeah, and that's very clear as you get outside of Charleston as well. But you know what? Just as much in the northern panhandle. Obviously, the eastern panhandle is starting to suburbanify, if you will. Yeah. But we've been all over the state, and specifically with the topography there too. I spent a lot of time in West Virginia, really around flooding. Whether it's been in the south, I know there were just some devastating floods in the east, southeast of the state, and but also in the northern panhandle. It seems like every year there's a 1,000-year flood that hits West Virginia, and that's where HUD also comes in on the disaster recovery side. FEMA and SBA are the first ones on the ground, but HUD sticks around as the long-term recovery partner. Yeah,
it's interesting on the flooding because I've heard that term 1,000-year flood, as you said, used quite a lot over the last couple of years, and I think that defeats the very definition of a 1,000-year flood, to be honest with you.
Well, it's funny. I didn't realize that was actually a term, right? Like if you call, like people don't just call it a 1,000-year flood. It's actually the type of flood is a 1,000-year flood. It's like mandated that way. So you can have a 1,000-year flood every year, but unfortunately, West Virginia seems to have them a lot more than everyone else.
All right. So I know you got to go because you're on a tight schedule, but what was your overall, give me 30 seconds, what was your overall takeaway from your visit here to West Virginia last week?
The energy and the spirit I saw from those housing authorities about, one, that people from Washington care about West Virginia, that they care about rural West Virginia. Again, our job isn't to dictate from Washington to the people of West Virginia how to do their job. It's for them to tell us how we can do our jobs better. And by them leading the charge on work and dignity and making their own decisions, it's going to strengthen our department. It's going to strengthen this country.
All right. Joe DeFelice, the HUD Deputy Secretary. I hope you enjoyed your time in West Virginia and appreciate you taking time to be on the show today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me. I'll be back soon.
All right. Joe DeFelice, again, the HUD Deputy Secretary, and they were in town, he and his organization in town last week. Glad to see that some of the rural areas are getting a little bit of attention. 9:29, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you're injured, visit forthepeople.com. I want to knock out a couple texts here, because we had quite a few texts coming in this morning, so let me get to a couple of those. Text on the Claudia L. Workman Wildlife Center that somebody asked if there were horseshoe mounds for horseshoe stakes. I did ask her on the way out the door, and there are not. So Linda told me that there are not. There are not. Not saying that there couldn't be, but there aren't. Now, text says, Dave, is wildlife solely state funded, or do they also take donations? If so, how could someone donate? Well, it's real simple. Just go to the Claudia L. Workman site. And again, I don't have the site in front of me, and I'm not very good at multitasking. So just Google Claudia L. Workman Wildlife Center, and you will find it. And I believe that she said there is a tab on there that you can make donations, but they do 100% accept donations. Text says, Dave, I think it's funny that Morrissey is going to investigate the school voucher program for wrongdoing. Where was he when he was the top law enforcer of West Virginia for years? Why didn't he do something then? So I went to the Billy Strings show last night. I knew this was coming, by the way. It was a lot of fun and full of aromatic massage of weed smoke, patchouli. However, I'm disappointed with the city or whoever runs the Civic Center. The concrete cast of Tonka's footprint denoting his final bow is buried in leaves and cigarette butts, and the hill above the footprint is more covered in weeds than the neglected rural state road. Tonka deserves better, says the texter. I was not at the Billy Strings show last night, but I'll tell you, it's the biggest concert at the Coliseum and Convention Center that there's been in some time. Yesterday on the show, we had, first of all, I'm going to call him musician. He is state Democratic Party chair, and he's a delegate, but he's a musician before all those other things, or at least that's how he started in life. Mike Pushkin on the show yesterday, right around this time, and Pushkin tells me when he came in yesterday that people were setting up for the Billy Strings show on the Benny Keatum parking lot out there. It's almost like, and Pushkin's a big deadhead. I mean that as he follows the Grateful Dead, not anything personal. Billy Strings has sort of a following like that. He's bluegrass, but there's kind of a totally like alternative vibe to him. He's very interesting fellow, very, very talented. And so the show was sold out at the Coliseum and Convention Center last night. Billy Strings himself got into town, I think, a couple days ago. Pushkin and I talked about he played at the Empty Glass. And sat in with people. I think Kathy Mattea was there from Mountain Stage Band. So a very personable guy from what I understand from people that got to meet and hang out with him. But the show last night itself, there were some issues getting people in the building. And I don't know exactly what those issues were. Other than the fact it didn't seem like the line was moving very quickly. And as I said, I wasn't there. My man Shockley from 98.7 The Mouth and Wild and Wonderful Classic Rock, though, was there. And he gave me a call last night, and he said in that Shockley way with all of his hair, dude, this is going to come up on your show tomorrow. So he was telling me about it. Jack Carlson was in the newsroom. I think Shockley actually did an interview with Jack, and then I talked to had another buddy, my buddy JD was there last night, talked to him a little bit about it via text last night too. Again, I don't really know what the exact issue was other than a lot of people didn't get in, from what I understand. Again, I wasn't there, but a lot of people did not get into the venue until the show had already started. And it just seemed to be a little bit, I don't know, it seemed to be some sort of a breakdown somewhere. And I'm not going to throw shade on it because I don't know. I wasn't there. But there did seem to be some issues there. We actually wrote a story about it. It's at WCHSnetwork.com. But if you were there, you know what we are talking about. On this subject, text says the lines weren't moving because security and Charleston police were checking all the dirty bluegrass hippies for that dang old reefer, says the texter. I don't know if that was the case. I wasn't there. Like I said, I know that once the show got in, there were no issues or anything like that. There were some people, from what I'm told, kind of upset trying to get into the venue, but everybody behaved themselves, which is always very important. So we'll see what happened there. Text, I have noticed many Charleston parks and public places are in decrepit shape. City-owned property looks really, really bad, and it's very noticeable, says a texter. On the concert, text says, and there was one entrance for everyone but VIPs and pit passes, says a texter. Text says, Dave, you have a short memory and a penchant for falling for right-wing propaganda. The Republicans are the ones finally paying attention to rural communities. How about this $785 million investment in the Biden administration? I didn't say anything about Biden or Trump. I just said I'm glad to see there is attention being paid to rural communities. That's exactly what I said. I didn't mention a party, a political lean, or anything. I just said I'm glad to see there is more attention being paid to rural communities. That's literally all I said. Speaking of the Benny Keatum Shrine, as I was, those folks asked me to announce this for them. They are going to do a beach bash featuring the feel-good rock and roll of the Esquires. It is coming up on Saturday, August the 15th at the Benny Keatum Shrine Center Ballroom, 100 Courier Street next to the Coliseum and Convention Center. Doors are going to open at 7. Music goes 8 till 11. Tickets are $30 a person, and proceeds will benefit the Shrine. There's a cash bar available for tickets, 304-343-9405, or email BennyKeatumTemple@gmail.com. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie, $23.99. Find your local Huston's for delivery, pickup, or dine in at HustonsPizza.com. Guarantee Bank Hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony V. Taylor text, 304-935-5008. We are going to take a break, and we're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
They say roads are made for journeys, not destinations. And now that I'm retired, I make a point to journey as much as I can. But when night driving became a challenge, my son and I decided it was time for a doctor's visit to ensure my safety behind the wheel. I was worried, but instead of restrictions, we discussed solutions to make sure I can continue on my journeys.
Aging can alter how we drive. Take charge of your safety and independence by evaluating your driving skills regularly. Learn more at StaySafeWV.com. This message is brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Your Putnam County Assessor's Office is mandated to ensure your real estate is evaluated properly and fairly. This year, their field personnel will be in the Winfield town first, and then move to Scott District to revisit homeowners. Plus, new construction in the county will be assessed. They will be in marked vehicles and will have photo ID and business cards. If you have any questions about this process, visit their website at PutnamCOAssessor.com. That's PutnamCOAssessor.com.
23 minutes away from 10 on a Wednesday morning. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson on the other side of the glass. It's the sounds of the Aim the Steel Band, the official band of the Dave Allen Show. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Logan Regional Medical Center celebrating their 100th anniversary with a free concert, party, and get-together this coming Saturday. Logan Football Stadium. Gates open at 3. Come out and enjoy Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder, America's Got Talent winner Landau Eugene Murphy Jr., the Davison Brothers Band, Del Nora, Motown Legends, the Voices of Classic Soul featuring members of the Temptations, the Four Tops, the Drifters, Mountain Stage Band, Corduroy Brown, and more. And again, it is absolutely 100% free. And there's food trucks, fireworks. Going to be a great time. I'll be serving as the MC along with Big Brother Burke Allen. So looking forward to seeing you there. If you need more information, check out the Logan Regional Medical Center Facebook page. There is an organization doing some really good stuff. They are called Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and Ashley Saddoris is the volunteer coordinator with the group. And she joins me now on the Guarantee Bank Hotline. Good morning and welcome to the show, Ashley.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on today.
Thank you for being here. Talk about this program and give us the whole mission and the whole idea behind it.
Yeah, so Sleep in Heavenly Peace is a 501(c) nonprofit. We're dedicated to building beds and delivering beds for children who don't have one of their own, and our mission is simple. No kid sleeps on the floor in our town.
How did you get involved in this?
So last fall, me and my husband decided to become foster parents, so we got licensed and everything, and through that, we kind of figured out there's a need for beds.
Okay, for beds for the kids, because I mean, obviously, there's a major issue here with there's a major issue with foster care in general. We can talk about that at another time, and maybe have you talk about all the good things that you've seen there. But how I mean, you go from this idea to get the beds. How do you put the idea into play?
So after that, my husband started doing some research, and he came across the Jackson County chapter. Jackson County has a chapter. They just now started last August, and they opened then, and since then they have delivered over 200 beds in the Jackson County area.
Wow, and that's in the Jackson County area alone, right?
Yes.
And where do you get the beds?
So we build the beds ourselves. Through the so we're a nonprofit. When people donate, they're donating for us to buy the wood, the screws, the nails, everything that goes into it to make these beds for the kids. So
as somebody who doesn't know the first thing about building anything, including a bed, what kind of a process is that?
It's a big process, but whenever we have our build days, you don't have to have any type of experience. We have a core team members who we have trained, and they know how to work the stations, and they can tell you how to do the job. So you don't have to have any type of experience to be able to help build beds for these kids. Well,
it sounds like a very worthwhile program, and we'll get that back to the program in a moment, but I don't want to get too personal here with you, but you said you and your husband made the decision to become foster parents. What went into that decision, if you don't mind my asking?
Yeah, so that's fine. So we do have a daughter of our own, but we couldn't have any more kids, so we decided that we wanted to foster because that's something that we had always talked about in our heart, was becoming foster parents.
And we all, talk about it on the air, and we read about the issue with foster care in West Virginia. There's simply not enough people getting involved. There's all kinds of other issues. Again, I'm not going to make you get into all of that, but talk about the rewarding parts for you and your husband being foster parents.
I mean, it is a rewarding thing trying to help these kids have a better life, and learning, it's just heartbreaking hearing all these different kids and the trauma and different things that they have been through and experienced. It just would break your heart in two to know what kids go through.
I mean, kids that are in this system, Ashley, they go through things that most of us can't even imagine. I mean, really. And look, I had an opportunity at an event a couple of years ago to listen to someone speaking about doing something similar like what you're doing, but they were just providing things like suitcases for kids in the foster care system, because many of them get moved around so much, and they don't even have a dignified place to carry their stuff from one place to the other. And this particular organization was trying to get people to donate older suitcases, backpacks, or whatever that they didn't need or want anymore. So at least when these kids are going from place to place at night, they're not carrying their stuff in a garbage bag.
Yeah, because that is true. A lot of them do just come with nothing, just the clothes on their back.
And so let's talk about how the public can get involved. I said, not as you said, not everybody can build a bed, but talk about how the public, if people want to get involved in this, how can they do that?
Yeah, sorry. So I'm going to say one other thing first.
Yeah, go ahead.
We help all kids. So we're going to help all kids. I just was talking about this is how we got started was because of foster care. And that's one way we're going to help. But whenever you give the kids the beds, they're for ages 3 to 17. Mm-hmm. It's just once we're open for applications, so we have to have 40 beds in inventory before we can open for bedding applications. So we're hoping after our big build, the Bunks Across America, which will be our first public event, that we'll have the 40 beds sponsored. Right now we have 14, so we need 26 more beds sponsored. It's $250 a bed. That includes the wood, the hardware for the bed, the bedding itself, a pillow, and the mattress. And all of that's included. So whenever we deliver these beds, the kids are set up and ready to get for the night wherever they go to sleep. They have everything they'll need.
And when you talk about the donations, I mean, you're looking for businesses, for individuals, anybody that can...
Either. Anybody that wants to help. Yeah, anybody that wants to help. I mean, if you can't donate, money, if a business would like to do like a bedding drive and get new twin bedding and pillows, they can do that. Just anyway, even just spreading the word just helps trying to get the word out there as much as possible so that we can get it to people who can help financially if they can.
And you talked about the chapter in Jackson County. What other areas in the state do you work in?
Yeah, so we're also in Doddridge, the Eastern Panhandle, Harrison, Monroe, Mongolia, and Potomac Highlands.
Okay, so
it's more like up. Like we're the closest chapters around here, us and Jackson County are.
Us meaning Kanawha County?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure that we get that in there, that you are in Kanawha County.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yep.
And it really knows no borders. I mean, as far as helping kids, right? I mean, you may be just in those areas.
So we only service Kanawha County.
Okay.
Just like
okay.
Jackson only services Jackson County.
Yeah. I meant you do, but I mean the organization as a whole will help out any of these areas. And again, you're primarily focused on Kanawha County. All right. Tell people again how they can get involved if they want to be one of those businesses that does a drive where they're going to donate so much of their proceeds for a particular evening or an afternoon to the cause, or they want to host an event. How can people get involved?
Yeah, so like I said, you can sponsor a bed. We have a Bunkheads Club where you can join $25 a month each month, and after a year that adds up to $250. So you're basically paying for a bed in a year.
All right,
and you can come to.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead. I was just going to give you an opportunity to give out the social media website, whatever you got.
Yeah, so if you have Facebook, you can look for SHP Kanawha County. Then we also, if you go to shpbeds.org is the main website. But we use our social media and we just use Facebook. We post daily.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like a great program. And again, when I was first approached about having you guys on the air, I was like, what is this? And so I had to look into it. And you and your husband and others are to be commended for doing what you do for the foster care kids. And I love the motto, no kid sleeps on the floor. I love that. That is a great motto, Ashley. It really is.
Yeah, it really is a great motto. Because a lot of we've had people trying to call us and send us emails saying, I need a bed today. And the stories that you would hear from that would really keep you up at night and make you want to cry your eyes out.
All right. Well, hopefully we can, you guys can keep doing good things out there here in Kanawha County.
Yeah.
And, of course, one of the other chapters around the state and around the country as well. Ashley, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Ashley Saddoris, again, a volunteer coordinator with the group, and it's called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. I like the name. And again, you can get more information on their Facebook page, website. Just Google it. I did and got all kinds of information about it before we had Ashley Saddoris on the show. 14 minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Visit generationsford.com. Rest of the show is yours. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Text on the follow-up on investing in rural communities. Somebody wanted to remind me, the $44 billion the Biden administration invested in rural communities through the Infrastructure Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. Again, I didn't say aside either way. I just said I'm glad that more money is being invested in rural communities. I do appreciate that. Text says, do more people live rurally than urbanly? Or was that just for West Virginia? Hard to believe there's more rural people, especially if you consider suburban people part of the urban grouping. I don't know. When I made that statement, I was more or less thinking about West Virginia. On the nationwide, I would have to do the research on it. But I would think that you're probably right, especially if you consider the suburbs around America. In larger cities, think Charlotte, Chicago, New York, L.A., that if you count those suburbs. And yeah, I think so. But I think here in West Virginia, I have always said, with all due respect to the capital city, which is where I do this show, or Morgantown or Huntington or Martinsburg or Wheeling, what we think of big cities in West Virginia, there's a whole lot more Doddridge counties. There's a whole lot more Mineral counties, a whole lot more McDowell counties than there are those. I mean, I'm just anecdotal evidence. Hey, we're getting ready for the Paint the Capital City Green event. It is going to be Thursday, August the 27th at the Bill No Flight School, West Virginia International Yeager Airport. It'll start at 6 o'clock. Head football coach Tony Gibson's going to be there. Corny Jackson, the basketball coach. Julie Fulks, the athletic director. Gerald Harrison, other coaches. And my guy, the voice of the Thundering Herd, Steve Cotton, is going to be there as well. And the reason that Cotton is there, in addition to just being a genuinely good guy, and much like me, because he never met a buffet he didn't like, Cotton is going to be there to do sort of a roundtable discussion with some of the athletes and some of the coaches. Steve Animal, 98.7 The Mountain, Wild and Wonderful Classic Rock, and I will serve as the overall MCs. But Cotton comes in and handles a lot of the X's and O's, taking questions from the audience and things. It's just a great event. And again, all the proceeds benefit the Big Green. And let me tell you, this thing, it's not till August 27th. It sells out every year. I mean, it sells out every year. So if you want to get your tickets, you probably need to do so over the next couple of days. And you can do so by visiting the website, herdzone.com, or simply by calling 304-696-4661 as we get ready to paint the capital city green, coming up on Thursday, August 27th. We'll take a break. Come back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
Retirement isn't a finish line. It's a new beginning. But are you really ready? I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people just like you turn confusion into confidence. Whether retirement is 5 years away or right around the corner, now is the time to make a smart plan. Let's make sure your retirement income lasts as long as you do. Call today or visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial. Retirement done right.
Securities offered through J.D. McCall Financial Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through J.D. McCall Advisors Incorporated.
Having issues with your home like wet basements, water in your crawl space, bowing or leaning walls, or foundation cracks? You need Foster Construction, your foundation repair experts. Locally owned and operated, Foster Construction offers free inspections and estimates and has a licensed professional engineer on staff. Their services include basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and retaining walls. Call 304-776-6263 and get started today. Online at fosterconstructionwv.com. Foster Construction. They'll fix it right the first time.
I'm Kanawha County Sheriff Joey Crawford. This August 31st and September 1st, weather permitting, our tax division will once again offer our curbside collection service. Pay your taxes from the comfort of your car in front of the courthouse from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. Our tax divisions will still be open during weekdays, and you can also mail in your remittance or pay online at kanawhasheriff.us. Questions, please feel free to call us at 304-357-0210.
We got 9 minutes in front of 10. It's a Wednesday morning. The Dave Allen Show, Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants, helping to identify environmental concerns, asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor quality issues in buildings all across the state, providing inspections, testing, and accredited lab services you can trust. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. Text, Dave, Morrissey and his wife need to be investigated about what they knew and when did they know it about the opioids flooding our state and killing 2,000 people a year. Text, Dave, went to get 90-day supply of blood thinner with Medicare Part D. I used to pay $70. Now it's $700. Thank you, Donald Trump. So that's a text. Coming up later today, Metro News Midday, 13 News, and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me, powered by Salango Law. Jeff Jenkins has the news. TJ Meadows will stop by with commentary, and he, like so many others, have questions about what exactly happened with the TANF funding and this whole clothing voucher fiasco. TJ writes about it, and you can read it for yourself if you didn't hear it on the air this morning at WVMetroNews.com. I'm sure he's got it posted on his social media as well, and as well as ours. TJ's going to join us to talk about that. All I can think of in this whole deal is I got to get me some kids so I can use the vouchers to buy beer and cigarettes, although I don't smoke. But apparently it's a thing being discussed. So governor came out with a statement about it. Don't know that it helped a lot, the statement, and now other people are questioning that. And so, yeah, it's in the meantime, the parents just trying to get their kids, I guess, ready for school. Also on the show today, we had trouble linking up with him yesterday, but attorney Steve New is going to join us on the show today. Now, you've heard the story by now, the 5-for-5 rule that may lead to some college athletes getting extra playing time. Attorney Steve New representing some of those players, including some at Marshall. This is a national story. This ruling actually came out of Colorado. But Steve New from here in West Virginia is representing some of the athletes, including some of the ones at Marshall. And so he's going to join us on the show. As I said yesterday, we had him scheduled, but he's also involved in a trial out of state right now. So when the judge comes out and says, we need you in here, we understand, because I don't want to get thrown in contempt. I'll send Amanda for contempt of court, but I don't want to get thrown in there. But anyway, Steve is going to be on the show today. And we're also going to introduce you to another wonderful West Virginian, as we do every Wednesday at 1:06. Are you familiar with the Patriot games? Well, we're going to tell you all about that. Plus, we get to your calls and texts, too, on Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me coming up at noon today, powered by Salango Law. Quick programming note, of course, Inside the Huddle with Tony Caridi. I mentioned that earlier, is happening tomorrow night in Charleston. I'm going to have the voice of the mouth and ears, Tony Caridi, in studio with me tomorrow on midday during the 2 o'clock hour. Looking forward to that. Now, on this show tomorrow, Multifest will be kicking off. We'll get into that. Plus, the new director, the last couple of months of the Kanawha Ambulance Authority, Lance Wheeler, former county commissioner. We're going to check with Lance tomorrow and see how things are going with the ambulance service. He'll be on the show with us tomorrow. And as I mentioned earlier, to paint the Capital City green event happening later this month, Robert Stone Street from the Marshall Quarterback Club of Charleston is going to join me to talk about that coming up on tomorrow's show. Do invite you to join me every Friday morning, 9:06, for the Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association, brought to you by Almost Heaven Interiors, family-owned, proudly serving the community for over 50 years. They specialize in custom blinds, shades, shutters, upholstery, and beautifully crafted sewn goods, homes to hospitals, classrooms to commercial spaces. They do it all. They are located at 516 D Street in Charleston. There are a couple of other things in the news this morning. Jack Carlson with the story, WVMetroNews.com. Former Kanawha County prosecutor and U.S. Attorney Chuck Miller has died at the age of 77. Distinguished litigator, decorated combat medic in the U.S. Navy during the Vietnam War. Spent 4 years as U.S. Attorney for Southern West Virginia from 2005 to 2009. Spent 10 years as a Kanawha County prosecutor. Tributes are pouring out for Chuck Miller, a good fellow, and he will definitely be missed. We are gearing up for the 19th annual 107.3 The Beat Backpack Attack. It is 1 week from today on our parking lot. 1111 Virginia Street East in Charleston. Lineup starts at 3:30. Giveaway start at 4:30. Over 300 backpacks will be given away. Kids must be present to get the backpacks. All presented by Salango Law in conjunction with the West Virginia Health Right, the Charleston Police Department, Mountain Care Network, the Charleston Dirty Birds, Equipment Express, Charleston School of Beauty, Marcotte Consulting, Agston Construction, the Stike Team and Wealth Enhancement, Wendy's Frosties, Garib Dental Group, JB Acres, West Virginia Eye Care Consultants, 10 and 10 Above Roofing, Charleston Child Care and Learning, Family Health Care Centers, Baskin Robbins, Polka Valley, and of course 107.3 The Beat. That is happening 1 week from today. Elliot Pritt officially is withdrawn from the general election, basically shutting out a Republican from filing. Jeff Jenkins with the story at the website. So now the governor can appoint someone to the position, fill out that term that was left by Elliot Pritt. And the Fayette County Executive Committee, of course, you know the way this works, will submit 3 names to the governor. He will make his choice. Wilson and Meadows will get into that a little bit more coming up on the show. Speaking of Mr. Meadows, how's it going, man?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I've missed our little interchanges here because recently you've been so busy, you know, that you've come in like the last second. And I said, hey, these guys are coming up, and that's it.
Yeah, I got here a little early today. I felt I'd been neglecting you, and for that I apologize.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, you're important to me.
Well, and, ever since I went through the cancer thing, man, and they're giving me, they gave me the shots that lowers testosterone, I'm just feeling a little neglected. Plus, I have hot flashes.
Can't they give you the shots that boost testosterone? It goes both ways.
Not yet.
Not yet. Can't do that.
You got to wait. That's what they tell me.
Can't make it happen with that equipment.
Not yet. No, they got to wait. It's a waiting process.
Are you feeling good though? Are you starting to feel better?
I never felt bad.
Yeah,
that was the thing. Yeah. I never felt bad. Didn't even know I had it until I went to the doctor and they told me. So
get your screening, right? That's the message.
That's the message. Get your screening. All right. So what was I going to ask you while you're here? Oh yeah, Elliot Pritt.
I'm candidly surprised he didn't withdraw from the election the same day that he resigned from the House.
Any idea why? Or maybe he just...
difficult to tell. A lot going on. He's being represented by a federal public defender, is my understanding, who may not have had that top of mind. He is obviously in a jail in Kentucky, doesn't get all of the news, had to have a notarized letter to be able to withdraw. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But he's off the ballot. We move forward. We'll see what happens. There are a couple of independents running in that race, I'm told.
Yeah.
We'll see if Republicans throw their support behind one of those independents. I think that would probably be the next logical play if you're a Republican, or you could do what I've said all along, leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
One seat isn't worth the potential downfall, in my humble opinion.
Text says, doesn't Charleston have more people than McDowell County? Yes. You probably didn't get to hear this. I was talking earlier. My assertion has always been there's a lot more rural areas in the state than there are big cities like Charleston, Huntington, Morgantown. Yes, McDowell, I actually did the math. I forgot to get into it. Charleston, the city of Charleston has significantly more people than McDowell County. My point wasn't about specific cities as much as it was there's a lot of rural areas in West Virginia.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of different topographies, a lot of different situations. A lot to deal.
All right.
Manage.
Meadows and Wilson coming up with Talk Line, 10:06. I'll be back later today with Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barrett. On the show tomorrow, again, we're going to kick off Multifest, plus the new director of the ambulance service here in Kanawha County, Lance Wheeler, and more on the upcoming Paint the Capital City Green, happening at the Bill Noe Flight School at West Virginia International Yeager Airport. Till tomorrow, or till later, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.